I had my gun taken off me for shooting the alien. Yeah, well, you were asking for it. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. I don't know if you saw this video, but I made this neck protector for my axe on my other channel. And I didn't really say, but it's like axes, key to my heart. You get a good axe, Swedish steel, hickory handle. Oh, amazing. And I'm really into my Norse culture. So, this is a disgrace. Avengers, we're gonna have Thor. Fine, have Thor. I don't care. They don't show his battle strength, which is something he has, but you know, that's by the by. It's this that I have a problem with, because if they're gonna show something, why make it wrong? There's two interpretations. There's one which looks like this, and I'll have to put the other one on screen because I don't have it immediate. But yeah, zoom in on that. It's a little bit hammer-like. It's a little bit close to this. This is an interpretation. It should be a little bit longer because that's too long. And I'll show you why. So, this is from Thor. Let's just have a look at it real quick. You can do that with it, can't you? Yeah, very easily. What's this? That shouldn't be on there. I guess this might be just for kids though. I don't know, but it shouldn't be on there. And I'm not a fan of the shape. I don't think it should have something on it, because in all the Norse things, it's like, yeah, it has runes on it. Because it has to have spells on it because of what it can do. And I haven't seen any of the Thor. I've seen one of the Avengers movies, I think, where he's in it and he's like, oh. It annoys me. It annoys me because it's why take something, and it's not like DC can do it now. But they can't be like, oh yeah, we're doing Thor now, because it's like, no, we did it first. But yeah, this is called Mjollnir, by the way, in case any of you didn't know. And how you spell it is Mjollnir. Mjollnir, the hammer that belongs to the god Thor. This is a book called Northern Mythology, a dictionary of Northern Mythology by Rudolf Simek. So, Mjollnir, the hammer belonging to the god Thor. Just as it was made by Sindri and Brokka and brought to the Aesir gods by Loki. This has the story of it, which I'm gonna talk about. The handle of the hammer turned out too short, so it could only have one hand, where it was made to be a two-handed hammer. I mean, okay, if this was like actually metal, that would be heavy, and you'd probably want to use two hands, and you'd probably want it a bit longer as well. You want it more as like closer to a staff, like closer to something like this. But it turned out to be a one-handed hammer. It could only fit Thor's hand because his hand is big. You can fit two hands on this, and in the movie you can see he can fit two hands on it as well, which means it's wrong. It's wrong. You can't. No, it's wrong. Let's carry on reading, shall we? Mjollnir produces thunder and lightning, not Thor. It's the hammer. The hammer makes him the god of thunder and lightning. It's the hammer, not Thor. He is just like a god with great strength. It produces it when it's thrown and returns like a boomerang to Thor's hand. In order to hold the hammer, he needs iron gauntlets, so to kind of protect him, I guess. This is why there's other interpretations. So there's this interpretation, and I'll put the other one on screen here, which is the more common one. And it has, you can see it's got a small handle, like it says in the ancient texts. but it has a small handle. And this is an interpretation which has a bigger handle. But it's an interpretation rather than being like, yeah, this is the handle. And you just, the symbol is like putting it on stuff. It's like, yeah, Thor, hit me up. Mjollnir plays this role in the blessing of marriages of Bronze Age rock carvings, as well as in the consecration of marriages in Edict Primiskivda and the medieval German poetry. So the Edict poems and in medieval German poetry. Mjollnir is in all of them. I ain't seen that in any of the pictures. It's always that one. It's always that one. So it's a very bad interpretation. It's very like minimalist, which, no. I don't like it. But yeah, so that's kind of the definition that he puts in here. It says, that's the main thing. It returns to him. It's not a full, it's one hand. And let's read this story. So, this is by Neil Gaiman, Norse mythology. You know, it's a good seller. Let's just flip to this random page. So, we'll just do what Thor says about it first. So, it is made by Broken Sindra, I think. Eitri. Yeah, Eitri and Brook, I think. Yeah, so Brock presents the hammer to Thor. And what's the first thing that Thor says? The handle is rather short. That would be short. You know, you can still get a bit of But I mean, for a god who has masses of strength, you can do that easily. You can do that all day. You could have that, and then at the bottom, the rest of that's chopped off. You know, I mean, other than the fact that it's not the right shape and it doesn't have any runes on it, which, you know, whatever. But it's not right. That's too long. If you can just be like, bing, 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 ooh. If you can hold it with two hands, it's not right. Marvel, it's not right. Don't change it. Change it back to what it was. And then you could be, or you can use the Anglo, whatever. It says something about Anglo something, where they believed that it was like a longer handle, and in a battle he just went like that with it, and it snapped the end off. So he just got them to be like, yeah, destroy it. But you know, that goes against this one, which is the kind of original thing. So what's the next? So then Brooke says, the hammer is, let me tell you about what makes this hammer unique. It's called Mjollnir, the lightning maker. That's what Mjolnir means, the lightning maker. It's not Thor who has lightning. First of all, it's unbreakable. It doesn't matter how hard you hit something with it, the hammer will always be undamaged. And then it says about how Thor's like, oh, I've broken so many weapons. Like, he's like, oh, too many weapons have been broken because I'm just so goddamn strong. Praise the gods. Woo! I'm so strong. Then Brock goes on to continue. If you throw the hammer, it will never miss what you throw at it. And then Thor's like, oh, this is great. I keep throwing when I'm just like, oh, leave me alone. I throw stuff and then it just goes across the world. It's gone forever. And then he says, at the end, he says, no matter how hard or how far you throw it, it will always return to your hand. I think they incorporate that, and I think they incorporate the lightning, but they don't incorporate the lightning back. Right, because I've seen in some of the trailer parts and some of the bits and pieces that there's no hammer there. He starts being like all lightning-y. No. They got one thing right. They said Loki is his adopted brother, which is true. True. That's right. So, Loki is the god of mischief. And in this, so the reason the hammer's even there, and there's a lot of things, that come from this story. So let's go through it. So Sif is Thor's wife, and I think Loki scalped her or something like that. Like he stole her hair. So he stole her hair. I'm pretty sure he like scalped her. Sif opened her eyes, the colour of the summer sky. What are you talking about? She asked. Moved her head and looked puzzled. Her fingers reached up to her bare pink scalp and touched it, exploring it tentatively. She looked at Thor in horror. My hair. Thor nodded. It's gone. He has left you bald. He ? Asked Sif. Thor said nothing. He strapped on his belt of power. Mjollnir, which doubled his enormous strength. Loki said Loki has done this. So Loki scalped Thor's wife, Sif. Yeah. So Loki and Thor have a really weird dynamic because it's like Thor would just kill him because he's like, nah, Loki isn't good news. He's annoying and I don't like him. But Odin's like, yeah, but let's be nice to him. Like he technically is a god, kind of, but you know. Yeah, so then Thor's like, if you don't fix Sif's hair, then you are dead, basically. And being the god of mischief, he's like, damn, I don't want to die. So he's like, okay, yeah, I'll fix this, no worries. So Thor says, if you do not put back her hair right now, I'm going to break every single bone in your body, each and every one of them. And if her hair does not grow properly, I will come back and break every bone in your body again and again. If I do it every day, I'll soon get really good at it. He carried on, sounding slightly more cheerful. So that's basically what Thor said. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna break every bone in your body every single day until you fix this problem. So Loki was like, oh, best fix this. Thor breaks like a finger bone or something. He starts to break a first bone, and then Loki's like, dwarves, yeah, dwarves can fix this, because if you don't know, dwarves are like amazing forgers. They can make anything, that kind of thing. Yeah, so Loki has shoes that let him travel through the sky as well, you know. Yeah, so then he goes to the sons of Ivaldi. Yeah, you following so far? He's been asking around. He's saying, oh, to the sons of Ivaldi, Brock and Eitri are better forgers than you. So he just basically baits the sons of Ivaldi and Brock and Eitri. So you have these two sides. So the sons of Ivaldi, Brock and Eitri. And he says to both of them, oh, yeah, well, so the sons of Ivaldi goes, these guys, they're better than you. Apparently. So they're like, oh, well, let's have a competition then. And yeah. So they're like, yeah, we'll make 3 things for the gods. They pick Odin, Frey. Not Freya. I don't know if they're the same person. Depends on what you read. Brock. So Loki then goes to Brock and says the same thing, but Brock's like, this sounds fishy. He goes, this smells fishy. What? Because he's just gone, oh yeah, these guys, they're chatting about you, and we're making 3 weapons or pieces of stuff for the gods, so you know, they say they're gonna beat you. What are you gonna do? And then Brock's like, no, this is fishy. Get out of here! And then, so because Brock's like, nah, this is fishy, you're trying to trick us. So he goes, hey Loki, if you're not trying to trick us, then, and you believe that the sons of Ivaldi are better, then put your head on the line, you know? Put your head on it. Put your money where your mouth is. If we win, we get your head. We're going to cut your head off or whatever, and then we're going to take it. I just remembered how that ends. Yeah, so he agrees. And then Loki pretends to go off, but if we know Loki, we know that Loki can shapeshift. Loki turns into a black fly and he goes into the forge and he lands on Brock's hand. This is the first time. This is for the first item that they're making. He did not stop pumping to swat the fly. The fly bit Brock hard on the back of the hand. So he's like, to try and get him to stop pumping, but he just carries on pumping because he's like, yeah, Loki, there you go. He's trying to trick me, but I'm getting Loki's head. He's that determined. He's like, yep, getting Loki's head. This is going to be great. It's worth these couple bite marks and whatever else. The black fly circled the room thoughtfully, then landing on Brock's neck. The insect stepped aside daintily to avoid the rivulet of sweat, for the air was hot and close in the forge. It bit Brock's neck as hard as it could. What does it say? Blood joined the sweat on Brock's neck, but the dwarf did not stop pumping. And then so that was the second one. Brock's just carrying on. He's like, yeah, that hurts. I don't care. I'm going to carry on. I'm finishing this. I'm getting Loki's head. This is brilliant. This is a great day for me. They put in some pig iron, bigger than any ingot that the black fly, who is Loki, has ever seen before, and hefted it into the forge. He left the room and called out to Brock to begin pumping. Brock began to pump, and the sound of Eittri's hammers began as Eitri pulled the shape and welded it and joined. Loki, in fly shape, decided there was no more time for subtlety. Eittri's masterpiece would be something that would impress the gods, and if the gods were impressed enough, then he would lose his head. Loki landed between Brock's eyes and started to bite the dwarf's eyelids. The dwarf continued to pump, his eyes stinging. Loki bit deeper, harder, more desperately, and now blood ran from the dwarf's eyelids into his eyes and down his face, blinding him. Brock squinted and shook his head, trying to dislodge the fly. He jerked his head from side to side. He controlled his mouth. He contorted his mouth and tried blowing air up at the fly. It was no good. The fly continued to bite, and the dwarf could see nothing but blood. A sharp pain filled his head. Brock counted, and at the bottom of the downstroke, he whipped one hand from the bellows and swiped at the fly with such speed and strength that Loki barely escaped with it. Brock grabbed the bellows once again and continued to pump. Enough, called Eitri. The black fly flew steadily out of the room. Then Eitri goes, I don't know what you were playing at this time, said Eitri, but you came close to ruining everything. The temperature was all over the place at the end. As it is, it's nowhere near to as impressive as I'd hoped. We'll just have to see. So they make the hammer, and that's the reason. That's why it's short, because Loki ruined the forging process, which is why it has to be short. Otherwise, no, otherwise it's not right. It's supposed to be that, and in all the things, it's like you can't fit two hands on it, and you can fit two hands on this one, which we've already said what it is. It's got a short handle, doesn't have a short handle, and so this is the reason why I think this minimalist design is dumb, because if you throw the hammer, it will never miss where you throw it. So it says that Odin's spear has runes all over it because it needs the enchantment so that it can never miss. This has Mjollnir has the same enchantment or a similar one, but it will just be a slightly different, but it will be similar runes. So it has to have runes on it. Where are they? They're not here, which is why the original ones, they have designs on them, because they have to have the runes in there. They have to have the spells put on it. Also, the lightning maker. So to be able to make lightning, you need another spell, right? You need more runes on there. You need more patterns. You need more designs. You need more stuff on it. Where's that? You could have one side, top. So where's the spell for lightning, or the runes for lightning? Where's the ones for it never missing? And where's the one for it returning? Those are the kind of main things that it does. And non-breaking. I mean, that can be, you could be like, oh, well, it's dwarven steel, therefore it doesn't break. But still does break, but I mean, you could say because they're the best forgers, that's the reason it doesn't break. I feel like I've got something off my chest now because it's been annoying me for a long time and I just needed to make a video about it. So yeah, this is something that I'm guessing this has got to be for children. No, like, I mean, yeah, probably, yeah, because that's not going to fit around rock. Well, it might, but that's probably just for the children. But yeah, where are the runes? There's no design on it. The handle's too long. What have they done? So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. If you liked, please give it a like. I mean, I already have the books for the research, so it was no skin off my back. I just wanted to prove a point. There's also like some other sub kind of things, but I'll leave them for now because that's not the majority of Norse mythology, and it's debated over whether that counts as Norse mythology or it's just a different mythology that's just very similar, and and Thor ends up being like kind of like, oh, he's very similar to that, so they're like, yeah, it's Thor, and people add it and they're like, yeah, no, that's the same guy, but it's not. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like. Please leave a comment on what video I should make next and what you thought of this video. Is this cool or is it wrong? This is just wrong, I think. Just plain and simple, it's wrong. And leave a comment on what video I should make next. Really helps out a lot. Please consider subscribing, that helps out too. And if you do, turn that bell on. I know 75% of you still aren't subscribed. Why don't you just hit subscribe? It's free. You don't lose anything by trying a subscription. It's free. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye! Look at this trash. Do you want me to make a real one?